I feel that we both got things that we were expecting and not expecting with this episode.
Yeah.
Like, some things that happened, we were thinking this could really happen, and some things we were like, that's a bit weird.
Well, I feel like if anyone watched this and was expecting everything, you have an in with Marvel.
Yeah.
And you're not telling anyone, because there is no way you could have guessed all of these things.
Not all of it.
There's
Not
no way.
all of it. Hey, NarendraTheComic and
India.
No. Nonsensei here. We've got Nonsensei bringing the nonsense whenever she is indeed in a video. Doesn't happen every day. Doesn't happen every week. Actually, right now it does happen every week, which is real good. But yeah, the nonsense was brought with this episode. The resolutions were kind of brought with this episode. Explanations were brought with this episode. Wandavision episode 8. I wasn't sure if we were going to get this much stuff in this one episode. 40 minutes was a long time, but man, it just went by quickly yet slowly at the same time.
Yeah, they really packed it full of so much information. Yeah. Backstory for Agatha, backstory for Wanda, a lot more than we previously had. I did say from the first introduction shot, Salem. All I saw was the torch, and I was like, Salem, Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Salem,
baby.
Massachusetts. I was very happy.
And that was an interesting scene. Very intense, very dark, very intimate. But it leads you in a place to be like, is Agatha evil? Or is she indifferent? Or is she in the middle? Because she's definitely not good. She's definitely not actively good.
I don't think she's evil. She just wants power.
Or knowledge.
Or knowledge. But her mother was like, you dabbled in the darkest of magic. And she's like, no, it wasn't me. And then her mother was like, cut the shit. And she was like, I wanted it, basically. I wanted all of the power, the magic.
Yeah.
And she just stole like 7 or 8 witches' magic, including her mother's.
So the question is, was the magic she was tapping into, was it Mephisto's magic? And that's why it was a red hue? Or was it just like an old, ancient one book from, back in the Doctor Strange universe, essentially? We don't know where that magic came from, because in Doctor Strange, obviously, the Ancient One was tapping into dark magic to basically stay alive. So in this one, is it similar? How is Agatha alive for so long? She must still be accessing the dark magic, otherwise she would be dead.
That scene where she's tied against the post, the colour of magic we were talking about just then, there was Agatha's magic that we didn't see at first. There were these blue magic from all the other witches. There was this orangey redness in her throat area that then switched the blue magic into purple all around her. So colours are very important in this, right? In the last episode, we were talking about the magic around the book, and it looked orange,
but it was
actually red in the audio description. And Wanda's magic is specifically red.
Scarlet, as it was described in the audio description this time around.
So there's a question as to where that magic is coming from, and how did it shift in Agatha from potentially orange into purple? Was that her fully giving into the dark magic in that moment?
Or was it the idea of all this blue magic coming into her and her already being imbued with this evil red-orange magic, and the two of them coming together made the purple magic? Like, she's like an amalgam magic type of being, whereas Wanda seems like a disjointed magic type of being.
Yes.
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 You know what I'm saying?
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Something that was really good about this episode was the fact there wasn't Kat Dennings. The fact that Darcy's character... And again, I'm saying Kat Dennings. I mean Darcy. I don't want her. And thankfully, this episode didn't have her. And the show was so much better. Probably the best episode of the season.
Yeah, I would say... Well, we got so much information in this episode.
Yeah.
It was going to be the best episode for us.
It was the
as a viewer.
perfect tie-in episode in a lot of ways. Because it really put together what had happened in the previous 7 episodes with what's going to happen in the last episode now. The worry is maybe they haven't left enough time for the resolution with all the stuff that's going to happen. But you have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Wanda didn't know any basic fundamental magic, right?
No.
And Agatha was like, how don't you know this? This is the easy stuff. And she was asking her, and Wanda was like, I didn't notice the runes because I don't know anything. And it almost made Agatha angry and disgusted. And then as we found out more about Wanda and her powers and where they come from, we'll come back to the Mind Stone in a second.
Yeah, that's separate.
In that final scene where Agatha's talking to her, she sounded so angry with the idea that Wanda had access to this much power and she was using it to make breakfast for dinner, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, when you really look at it, there was basically a pure parallel scene between what happened to Agatha in the 1600s and what she was doing to Wanda. It was pure parallel, right? She was questioning Wanda about the magic and the magic she was using, just like her mother was questioning her. But they basically have the same type of idea as to, you shouldn't have that type of magic. That seems like the way Agatha's going with it and the way the show ended. But as you step through bit by bit, Agatha, the purple magic was kind of lit. Like, I kind of like, not to say lit, but, you know, it was kind of lit.
It was kind of lit, honestly.
It was a bit spicy.
It looked better and better the more we saw of it. It was like, there's a certain flavour, you know? And we're used to Wanda's red.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange's orange or the green.
But, like, purple, it's a very sexy colour.
It is. It's the regal colour, my guy. It kind of makes it seem more special somehow. And very witchy.
Very witchy.
Very witchy.
It started off with the flashbacks with her being in Sokovia, right? Her family, and it's the moment where everybody dies, basically, right?
Yeah.
And this is where Agatha realizes that, oh, you were a baby little witch here and you did a probability hex. And she's like, no, it just didn't go off. And she looks at her as if to be like, yeah, it didn't go off for 2 days. You were waiting there and it didn't go off. You didn't realize, but you had some untapped potential there.
Yeah.
Right?
She had untapped potential. Not in terms of the X gene, I don't think, but in terms of like the witch gene, maybe. Maybe they're going to switch this up so it's not X-Men, because from the way they did the Sokovia scene, Magneto is not her daddy.
No.
All right? It's not happening. That's just not how it goes. And then they shifted from there with the idea of her maybe being a baby witch with like low potential and low magic to her being in the Hydra base and getting contact with the Mind Stone. And this was a big one because it basically opened the possibility of what the Mind Stone does, but also what and how it affected her.
Yeah.
It basically unlocked her potential to the fullest max. There was no halfway house. It basically just flooded her with energy because of the potential she already had in herself. Plus, there was the scene, that little eye scene of the Scarlet Witch actually coming to her in a vision.
It's just so, the layers of this, it's very interesting because it adds the idea of like destiny almost, right? She was meant to be the Scarlet Witch, and the idea of the Scarlet Witch, as Agatha said later, is a myth.
Yeah.
It's a being that has absolute power to create anything that they think of.
Pure chaos magic, pure creation magic. And it's the thing of you can create and destroy whatever you want. Plus, Agatha knew what the Infinity Stones were, which you question as to whether she knew before all the stuff with Thanos or whether she found out afterwards as to when she knew about the existence of the stones, because now everyone knows about the Infinity Stones. But she's old magic.
Yeah, she is. It's a very odd one that we're going towards the next scene, because Agatha said your powers were meant to die on a vine, right?
Yeah.
And so that really means that if she hadn't come into contact with the stone, would her witchy powers have disappeared?
They might not have been honed. Not really any vision in the episode either. And no photon, which I think those two characters add a lot to the show. I'm disappointed they weren't in it in a more meaningful way, but at the same time, it was a story they wanted to tell, and I think this episode really fleshed out Wanda and Agatha more than anything else, especially for Wanda in the MCU ever.
We know some idea of her past, but we don't really see into her mind in such an incredible way, and these memories that have shaped her and then broken her over her life and led to the hex, right?
This is stuff which you don't get to see in the films just because of time constraints and because of the way they're telling these stories now. We get to dive into these characters more and understand them more, and I think Disney's doing a good thing by separating the episodes and not allowing binging content, because it allows you to get access to the characters more. It allows you to understand them, think about the story, think about their mindset, their motivations, without just being a watcher.
Yeah.
You're not a watcher when you're waiting for episodes and absorbing them. Unlike in binging, where you're literally just a passerby. You're not really taking in what's going on, I don't feel. So Disney's onto something with that. I think that bingeable ideas and content is not the way forward. I don't think it adds to storytelling. I think it detracts from it. So I don't know, man. I don't know where they're going to go with the last episode, because there's a lot to still happen in the last episode. As well as that, there was something which I came up with. I don't know if they're going to go with it, but they could. And it's that the Infinity Stones are all gone. But you said this other thing here. I'll start with that. And you said the thing about maybe Wanda tapping into other universes. You go with that. Go with it.
Basically, in that scene where Wanda opens up the hex just from that pure feeling that she had, she creates a house.
Yep.
And she creates vision.
Mad.
And it goes from red magic, the red and black magic that was described in the audio description, into streaming into this golden yellow magic, which is 100% pure Mind Stone, right? I can't remember what the visual was when Vision was being created in Age of Ultron. He was just in that like coffin thing, right?
No, in Age of Ultron, he's already he's already an android.
Oh, and then they put the stone in him. Oh, so they do. No, you're right.
He's already an android.
But the yellow of the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
I was thinking, how does her magic go from red, black to yellow?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe because her thing is probabilities, right? She can take the odds and she'll always win.
Essentially.
And that's what it was in the comics, and that's sort of what they've done here with the idea of chaos magic. is she plucking energy from the Mind Stone in across a different universe, like the multiverse theory, and pulling to create a new version of Vision?
Yeah.
Which is just mad, because it shows you how powerful she is, because she then has access to any stone across any universe whenever she wants it, should she choose to.
I think it leads to her, maybe, if that's the way they're going, she could be one of those Nexus characters, as I said in last week, where they are basically some of the cornerstones of the universe. They are super integral to the way the MCU is going to go forward. As well as that, though, the kids are 100% manufactured by her.
Yeah.
They are not real. The hex goes away, the kids are going to go away. So she's going to be in a weird place there. But I think we could get to a point where, with the introduction of Captain Marvel, with the introduction of Wanda, and with other characters who have been in contact with other stones, we could be getting to the point where the stones are no more, but people imbued with the power of the stones become essentially the pseudo-infinity stones. So, Captain Marvel was in contact with a space stone. She can fly, she can have space powers, that type of stuff. Wanda should really be more to do with the reality stone, because she's messing with reality and shit. But because of the Mind Stone, she has the Mind Stone powers to some degree, maybe. Or her version, interpretation of it. Or they unlocked her powers, and that's why she can do the thing she does. The thing is, Doctor Strange had a lot of contact with the Time Stone. Maybe he has some, like, residual Time Stone energy on him. Maybe the reason why they're bringing back Jane Foster is because she has residual Reality Stone energy on her. And this is the way they're going to go. Maybe Peter Quill with the Power Stone is going to have residual Power Stone energy on him. And all these characters are going to be very integral to the way they're going to move forward. And they be the powerful beings in the universe because of the power that's been imbued upon them.
You just blew my mind. No, yeah, it could be. You literally just blew my mind. Oh my god.
Yeah, because they're just like super powered stone beings.
Yeah, they are.
That's all they are. So the stones are gone now. This is the only way you can get to these higher level powers without being gods, essentially. It could be the way forward.
Yo, you know what?
Yeah.
You need to be careful. Disney might be knocking at our door being like,
oh.
YouTube takes down the video, because you might have actually just hit it on the head.
No, I don't know. I think your idea is actually solid, her tapping multiverses, which leads to, potentially that idea, leads to my other idea, bouncing off of that one. The person coming in the last episode is Doctor Strange.
I want it!
Paul Bettany said, I've always wanted to work with this guy. It's so good. I managed to do it finally. And I was like, Paul, you better not be lying to me, boy. You better not be messing with me. But Benedict Cumberbatch makes sense. Yeah. Senior Stephen Strange makes 100% sense. He's going to waltz in with his bloody sling ring magic and be like, so, you need help? I be teacher.
Yeah.
I teach. And that's how the series might end. It might end with Stephen Strange coming in through the hex and taking her away to train her.
The thing, I like that, because I'm always ready for a bit of Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange as a character. I think his character arc is just spectacular.
One of the better MCU characters.
But I kind of want to see what's happening with Agatha, because Agatha could be her teacher.
She could.
It could go... I do see this could be a way for Wanda to be in the multiverse of madness, right? But we thought previously she might be a villain, but maybe
the way this story's going now, she doesn't seem like she's going to be a villain, because she seems like she might be the hero of this story as opposed to the bad guy. But when she loses her kids, when Vision gets taken away, maybe that's not the thing.
But then you had that other thought.
Also the other thing. I swear, guys, it's like I said the other day, creative dumps. I'm just shitting all over the place here. But also, we said from the start, I said that is a deep fake video of Wanda going and stealing Vision. I said it, go back, listen to the tape, it's there. I said, no way, Jose, it's not happening. Turns out, we were right. Turns out she didn't steal Vision's body from S.w.o.r.d. And turns out director Tyler Hayward is as much of a slimy git as we thought he was. But he plays the slimy git very well.
He does.
He does play it very, very well. Menacing in a little way, but kind of friendly in another way. So you're like, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
But he's bad. He's bad. He's not good.
It's the classic. I'm the good guy. Or am I?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, he might actually be the main villain of the story. He really might, because it seems like Agatha is not going to be the evil person. She's there maybe just try and understand what's going on, maybe take some power for herself, and maybe just be like, you do not need this power, baby. You don't need it because you're going to mess this shit up. At the same time, maybe she can't do anything about it because she is the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And she does have that power on her. But the Vision stuff,
Ooh, guys.
Vision is technically not alive because she's just created him in her own world, which is why when he left the Hex, he dead. So when the Hex goes, the kids are also going to be gone. But if this alt Vision, which got revealed in the post-credits scene, actually comes into the Hex, and Vision fights it and this type of stuff, maybe Wanda just goes boom and puts the two of them together and creates a new Vision without the need for the Mind Stone. Because this was the big problem in Avengers Age of Ultron. What if Wanda brings this faux android and puts it together with Vision and she has a Vision without the Mind Stone? But it's possible that this works.
The thing is, if she takes the android, that we don't know what his character's going to be, we don't know whether he's going to be evil, but he's taking Hayward's word for everything, so he could be evil. And she takes the Vision that she knows that she's created and put his mind in there, then she does get some form of happy ending.
Yeah.
She'll still be mourning for the kids, but she could have Vision.
Yeah.
So it could really be a very nice resolution
Yeah.
for her. Like, there are still going to be losses made, but she might end up being stable by the end of this.
Yeah.
You know?
The question is, was Tyler Hayward only doing it so he could get access to some of her magic? Because he thought maybe that's why Vision came to life. It was through the stone, because they have all these types of reports. Tony was working with S.W.o.r.d. bit by bit. Tony was working maybe with S.w.o.r.d. We don't know who knew about S.w.o.r.d. and who didn't. I'm pretty sure Tony must have known.
He must have.
Because he has satellites all over the place and he's pretty intelligent, let's put it lightly. So maybe he knew that the only way this would work is if he had some of her power, which is why he led up with the line, "We don't know what you can do, that you can bring back other people." She was like, "I can't do that." And he was like, "We don't know." That's a very random thing for him to say, because that's very out of the box. You can bring people back to life? That's never been seen from her, or anyone.
Yeah, I mean, even Agatha, who's been around for 400 years, was like, you can bring people back to life? So why would this random human be like, not everyone has the power to bring people back to life or back online?
Yeah.
You know, it's just so unlikely.
Yeah.
So maybe it was always a play. Or maybe he wanted the $3 billion of vibranium,
Hey,
she just magicked up.
It's true. They were cutting through that like it was butter at points. And I was like, it's vibranium, but at least they mentioned it was vibranium. So, still questions. Who the hell is Senior Scratchy? Was that it?
Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know.
But Agatha was like talking to him, right? And she was referring to them as us.
Yeah.
So he is still important to her.
Somehow.
But is it Mephisto? Is it her child? I don't know.
Plus the Mephisto thing, we don't know where this is going to end and how it's going to end. And we don't know how it's going to set up Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And with Spider-Man 3 coming out this year now, at the end of this year, I don't know how they're going to get this shit done. The Spider-Verse is being involved there. Doctor Strange is gonna be in that movie somehow. Is Wanda gonna be in that film?
Guys, what an interesting team-up film that could be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, this could be something, man. This could be a very interesting one. But again, more questions than answers, I think, for the last time in the season. Unless they end the season where we still have a lot of questions, which is probably very likely.
Very likely.
Very likely. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Vision himself is gonna come after you. You don't know. It might be this, like, Mind Stoneless Vision. It might be an evil Vision. We don't know. It might be Ultron. It might be an Ultron type Vision. That would be very bad. That would be no good. You don't want that. Do they want that?
No.
So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic.
I'm in India.
She's been Non-Sensei. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. You've been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're hashtag never not here, just how it goes. Also bring the
Bakwas.
Bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi. Yes, it does. And we also bring that. We bring a lot. We bring a little. We do a lot. We do a little. And that's just what we do. So see you then. See you tomorrow. More of the same, but slightly different. But essentially the very same. Once more. See you then. Skadoosh.